Hello, everybody. Now, I don't really know how to start this video because this is going to be probably the last of its kind. If the series gets made, I'll make like a whole the making of and like show off the Google Docs and all that. But if season 3 isn't made of Ghost of Fazbear Entertainment, then this is the last video I will be making of like these FNAF maps. Anyways, I'm tired of trying to get these series done. So this is supposed to be a Fazbear Frights-esque attraction. This is going to be the finale. You know, how original FNAF 3 burned down, this is supposed to be the end. And the idea, whenever I was thinking of making this map, the idea was that it would be inside, like, this horror, attraction, like... Yeah, that makes sense. The idea would be that, you know those places that, it's like a forest, and you walk through it, and then there's like 6 or so different horror attractions that you walk through, and then you exit out, and then you go back on the main trail and visit the next one. You know, that kind of thing. That's how I was thinking of like the setting for this, instead of it just being like just somewhere in the woods or whatever. It would be here, or it would be one of those attractions along this trail. Now, since the animatronics are never meant to see, like, and the viewer is never meant to see beyond here, I feel like the tree line is pretty thick, so you can't really see, and you can't really see where this ends. And these signs, like, the viewer interpretation is meant to be like, oh, that must be saying Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. No, you shouldn't be able to read this. Get back inside, Robo Bitch. And as the entrance, I really like this map, by the way. I mainly made most of it. Like, I did most of the interior decorations, but I had help from N-Dimension Gamer, which is Ashton. He essentially made just of this, like the entrance portion, and that was about it. Masked Ronin, which he made the Bonnie room, which we'll get to, which we'll show off later. Really Red Fox, or his name Hazardous Red Fox, I don't know. He made the Foxy room, and I made the Freddy and Fredbear room. So yeah, this is the entrance. I tried putting like roots hanging off of this, but it didn't mesh very well whenever it came to this part, because this is using, I think, no, I thought it was using copycat blocks. I guess not. But yeah. Alright, let's get in here. Interesting noise. This reception area was probably the most confusing for me to make, because I just didn't really know what to put in it. Like, if you put a desk, that doesn't really make much sense. And I haven't really been to a horror attraction in years. As far as I know, it's just like you just enter it, and then boom, something scary, and then you go, and then you bounce from setting to setting. So we decided to make this like a little area where you can, if you're waiting on someone, you can wait. You can draw for the children, and we have some Fazbear memorabilia of the original characters, and some arcade machines. But yeah, the lighting for this place. Let me time set night. He said this is what it's meant to look like, and I wanted the building in the nighttime to reflect that. Now, there is like one lapse in judgment I sort of made. Why would there be a night guard for this place? Like, if people are meant to be visiting this during the day, which doesn't make sense. Most horror places operate not in the daytime. They typically operate from like 8 p.m. till like 5 a.m. Basically, the point is they operate at night because that's when things are scary. So the excuse as of now is that just the building's going under maintenance. Or, like, sorry. No, not that. That was a different roleplay, I think. That was the first one. That was the first map's excuse. The excuse for this map is that it's just not in season right now. Halloween isn't here, so the attraction is essentially just shut down for now until Halloween, because that's when the majority of the traffic would be here. And so the building is going to have, like, pretty shitty lighting. I mean, it already would have shitty lighting, but it has especially shitty lighting now. These hallways were kind of a... I don't know... I drew up, like, a map in class of the layout of this building, and I put it all in Minecraft. We have the classic return of the gumball foxy head. This was this little glass thing here, it was meant to be a section where you could just, like, see... You could see other people, basically. Yeah, you could just see other people. And, it's just supposed to have this cool effect. The only thing I don't like is that, like, if you notice, you see every time I move that a glass panel, like, disappears and reappears. Yeah, we didn't know how to fix that, but luckily the darkness kind of makes it a little... You have to look closely, and you have to be, like, essentially staring straight at it for that to happen, for you to be able to see that. Yeah, but this room is just it's supposed to be more like the scrap room, like where just broken down things just kind of exist. Like I said, really shitty hallway lighting. This is mostly to kind of obscure the lack of decorations, because I didn't really... Because it's supposed to be like, this is the main decoration, and then it goes into this hallway, which has just that. Honestly, I should probably remove that. No, we'll keep it here. This is supposed to be like, oh, we're walking in, spooky, oh, there's the very first of all time. Fredbear. That armor stand is currently temporary. It's more so meant for the, so whenever we start roleplaying, we can just take the armor off the stand instead of having to find it. But yeah, it's like, this is where it all started. Why do we have Springtrap plushies in there? That's a cool Easter egg. Okay. And then you're also meant to kind of see into the office, and the idea is that you can see into the guard's going to be, like, on his cameras, and then the camera's going to be facing towards him, and then it'll cut back to the guard looking at the cameras, you know, like, oh, nothing's happening, and then it cuts back and Fredbear's gone. We wanted to go with a more cinematic aspect. I mean, I always wanted it to be more cinematic, but for this series, we wanted it to be more like White Pine cinematic, sort of. I mean, at least for me, that's how I've always wanted it to be, because whenever we first made the series, White Pine Episode 1 had just released, and I was incredibly hyped and inspired. But yeah, it'll be a miracle if this map is ever used. This probably the hardest room. This was probably the hardest room to make, and it was all by me. All by me, one person just doing this, so it was fucking exhausting to Mike as well. So I was playing the Outlast Trials, and in there was a new set of MK Trials around, or released. One of them was Beguile the Children. Beguile the Children takes place in this, like, haunted house. And one of the rooms has a room, like, below and a room above, and it's meant to be, like, mirrored. But of course, if two people go into one of the rooms that is above and one that's in the middle, then you can see the person above, and I thought that could give, like, off a cool effect. And so, like, I wanted to have the effect of being mirrored. Down here, they are simply just dead ends. Yeah, all of them lead to dead ends. Like, yeah, that just leads to dirt. But upstairs, I'll show off later, but all those, I think all except those two lead to actual rooms, such as that one and that one lead to rooms. We'll check out the arcade last. I wanted this room to be especially well lit, just because it's, well, the most visually impressive. Hmm. Guess I missed that. Happens when you're trying to mirror an entire room. Like, yeah, you can see here the straws aren't mirrored, but I'm not going to that trouble. Okay. Yeah, back to it. These hallways, like I said, I want them to be poorly lit just because, you know, it's off-season. You're not really meant to care. But I wanted these rooms with, like, the especially decorated to be, pretty decently lit. Like, all the light blocks are put on 10, and it gives off that kind, and it's that middle ground of well lit, but not too bright. And then, as you can see in the hallways, there are spouts of just pure darkness. I like what Red Fox did here with the Foxy mask. It's kind of like a prelude, and then, oh, there he is. And I like the caution signs too. We don't need more than one poster. But yeah. Originally, this room was lit up with like 5 or 9. I don't remember exactly. A lot of like 15 light blocks, which that's 15. It's pretty bright compared to everything else, of course. Like, hold on, let's go to this especially dark portion of the hallway. Like, yeah, that's pretty bright. And it's like, well, we're going for like all doom and gloom here, so one thing I do see as like a little bit of a plot hole is like there's so much memorabilia of the entire gang, but then there's not one of Chica, which Chica has never been a prominent figure in the series as a whole, so that's kind of the excuse right now. But still, like lore-wise, in the Fnaf world lore, not Fnaf, well, in the Fnaf universe, like why wouldn't Chica be here? Why wouldn't Spring Bonnie be here either if we're showing off Fredbear so much? And that's just because we have a limited cast, and well, I kind of want to keep it limited because it's gonna end up like Stranger Things, where I have to figure out how to make a plot point for 13 people, and everyone's gonna be fighting for screen time. Okay. Sorry. Anyways, I said a lot. This room is meant to be like a sister to the room of newspapers and rules. It's supposed to be like a manic child drawing area. And then these ones are pretty devoid of decorations. This kitchen was, I think, the last place I ever made. I didn't really know how to handle it, so what I did was, I used a lot of create tools, and I think it does make the kitchen look pretty good. I just think it does. Lore-wise, these doors are supposed to be locked, so, you know, you're not meant to be able to get to the kitchen very easily. Yeah, you have to take that confusing, winding path, because it is literally just, like, here's the dining room. With the camera turning, it's a little confusing, but, it's a snake, that's what it is. These are just 2 mechanical presses stacked on top of each other. I mean, I kind of liked how it turned out, and then you get the wall of ovens and stoves, and it adds that kind of light that I like. Of course, I added light blocks around the place where it wasn't lit up. And I wanted this place to be, since it's kind of big, I wanted it to be a little more well lit. Of course, if I wanted it to be scary, I'd keep it a little less lit, so that could change in the series. Yeah. This is supposed to be the freezer. You know, you're meant to be scared, like, oh my god, dead animals? I feel so bad. And then you look through this door, which is meant to be, like, locked. It's like, oh my god, that's Freddy Frostbear. Anyways. I like it. Honestly, without lighting, hold on, watch this. This is all you see without lighting. I like that. That's kind of scary. But, of course, I want you to somewhat see him. Like, even if I put it on, like, 1. It's on 0 now. I'll put it on 2. But I think it's, like, too lit. Well, I'll just put it back on 5. I guess that's 6. Anyways, this secret button is connected to a door in the arcade. I'm gonna toggle that for now, just so we know where it is. It's too bright now. There we go. That'll work. Yeah, I did the blue blocks because, you know, it's meant to signify the freezer. I feel like if I just kept doing the stage walls, it wouldn't fit. And if you'll notice, the floors usually change with every room. For the general area, it's these black tiles. For the kitchen, it's these navy tiles. And for this one, it's the checkered pizzeria floor. These vents here, by the way, actually go places. They're meant to be used by the animatronics to make the environment a little more scary, but we'll see how that plays out if the main series ever gets into production. The Office. Continuing with the trend of my trademark, The Office must be a cluttered hellscape. I'm someone who very much likes everything being very clustered. It just feels like you have a lot. And there's so much visual information to take in that you just can't help but feel amazed at how much is just going on. But, yeah. BB's here because why not? I feel like... I don't know why we have them. The alarm clock, you know, there's gotta be a clock in every location, except when there isn't. You have the back window, that I like a lot. I just like the look of it. I really love Create's tiled glass. Got like a mini parts and service area over here with TVs, a lot of Fnaf memorabilia, the toy box, Nightmare Puffs, as always, Nightmare Puffs. Yeah, that's it. The Office. Oh, and these, like, of course, every door is blockable. These are really big doors, but I don't suspect that they'll be used a lot. Or, I mean, I wrote it to where they weren't going to be used a lot. The only part of the place that isn't defendable is this upper area, but I don't think I ever wrote it in to where that was, I don't think anyone ever attacks from there. Here's the other side of the hallway. This vent just gets you to the other side, so you don't have to go, like, all the way around through the office and into here. You can just go to this vent. This connects to the arcade, and then the other side of this hallway, just because it's confusing, like a horror attraction should be. And then this also connects to the vent that goes into the office. This is supposed to be Bonnie's area, you know. Ton of Bonnie stuff. This was made by Master Ronan. Master Ronan did, I like it. I think he did a very good job on it. There's some aspect, like, for a place that's meant, yeah, like, if you look hard enough, you can see where the Create blemishes are. But, overall, not bad. I think in some areas it could have been more cluttered. And this is one aspect I really don't like about Minecraft, is that unless you make things double blocked, you just, like, you can't have blocks go onto each other. And that's why Copycat is so useful. Then Copycat has its own issues where it can't really handle stuff going on top of it very well. Stuff going in corners. Just basically obstruction, that's the issue. Got some Z fighting there. But, yeah, I like this transition from the checkered black floor to the concrete to the green. I like that transition. And, like, yeah, like I said, Create. And then access to the staff area. Yeah, so if you haven't noticed, every animatronic so far is trapped behind this glass. How are they meant to get out? These are meant to be our POV guys. And, the answer is that all of them have ladders or doors in the room that lead to the maintenance area that they can then just drop into the facility with. Welcome to the arcade. The lighting of this area, I decided to make, like, all the scones have 15 lighting, and all the on arcade machines to have a lighting of 10 or 7. 7 on some, 10 on others. Okay, mostly 7. I think I could tune down the scone lighting, probably. Get it up to 11. Just to have that aspect, just, you know, it's here. That's a secret room. Sorry about modifying the build mid-thing. Okay. Okay, yeah, so all the arcade machines have a little bit of light emanating from them. And then this one is like, has a lot of light emanating it. The signs have light emanating them naturally. The scones obviously give off light. Are there any on arcade machines back here? No, there are not. Alright, cool. That'll be a spooky area. We'll cover that room last. Oh, did I not like this area? No, I did. Okay, I'm just stupid. This is supposed to be Freddy's area. See the doors that go up. This vent leads into the main party area with the like the reflection room. This one I wanted it to be cramped, but I also I think it could have been better, but right, it's all right. I think it does a good job at saying it's Freddy. Yeah, arcade. All right, secret room. I didn't like this room. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This room is meant to be. Hello. This is meant to be like the secret finale room. It's meant to be like it has all the incriminating documents of Henry, and you go onto this computer, it like powers up the endo or whatever. Yeah, this is just meant to be a room where like Henry has essentially been stockpiling a lot of incriminating stuff. Why he would stockpile it, I have no idea. But as you can see, this is where the door is that was in the freezer. Yeah. Like I said, finale room. It's meant to be kind of cluttered, just so you can easily get cornered in here. Because the night guard is meant to like die in here. We'll talk about the story later. Maintenance area. I'll just use this one. In the maintenance area, I wanted it to be like even. I wanted to have more dark patches than the. I want it to have more dark patches than the main area. Fun fact, I think it's the only one that doesn't have a trap door, or like a door leading into it. Yeah, I want these to be even less lit, just because like this is where the employees are supposed to be. They know their way around. You don't really need good lighting for this area. And so you can see that with the stripe effect, I guess. This is where Freddy comes out of, and this leads into the office. And this is where it leads into the maintenance area. Or this is where the dining room leads into the maintenance area. Like I said, this leads to absolutely nothing. So does that one. These doors are actually not locked in the world, just because, you know, like, they don't need to be locked. It's not a part of the horror attraction. This room is meant to be like, it's supposed to be like the AC of the place in a way, but it's also meant to be a sort of small-esque databank. Like, and we used a lot of the furniture mods with the ovens turned backwards, like as we did in the second in the warehouse. And these just look kind of good. But if anyone gets near them in multiplayer, it constantly pops up that someone is near this radar, which is really annoying. So I have to turn off chat. I mean, it's not turned off right now because I'm the only one in this world, but I feel like it looks pretty good. If you want the full look at it, I probably could light it up a little better, but if I need to do that, I'll do that later. Yeah. Okay, so and then this is where like you're meant to access the data bank. And so it's like, oh boy, I'm just doing stuff, la di da di da. I mean, the data bank is only relevant to my thing that I have in the works that may come out in like a couple months. I need to write it first, and I need to get it recorded, and then I need to make sure that it's good and re-record anything that sounded kind of stilted, bad acting, etc., etc. You'll see when it comes out, but yeah. Security cameras are just kind of here for the aesthetics of this is meant to be a data bank. This is where Foxy comes out of. This is where his room leads into. And the last thing is this area. See, in order to get into the employee-only area, you have to go through a vent that leads into that like wild child hallway. This is where the generators are. And it's a little messy, but this is like the employee break room. So gotta crawl through the vent to get to the employee break room. This is where our one and only Spring Bonnie plush is. That's kind of it for this area. For the innards, the innard of the main part of the insides. Innards. I just said it. That's it for the insides of it. This is the outside of the not the outside, like the inside outside. The in-between layers of the building. Trying to make a casing for it, like I tried to make the casing one down. How were those noises? You probably didn't take that. The audio probably didn't pick that up. Anyways, I tried to make it to where like it went up whenever it got to the maintenance area part, and then down whenever it got to certain to like the more these parts. But I got a little lazy. This was a mishap of using the Creative World Shaper. This is a godsend, by the way. Like, I just wanna... Boom. Godsend. Please use it in any of your modded Creative World, because it will help you so much. Like, yeah. This is where the ceiling gets lower. I mean, this is mainly for the aesthetics of the outside. But, yeah. That's the building. Maybe we should make a sign, but honestly, I'm not gonna. There's not really much need to. So the story. I'll throw up some Dead by Daylight gameplay, because effectively this part of the building, or this part of the thing, the tour is over. If you just want a tour of a Fnaf map, then congratulations, you have that's it. That's all. That's the tour. You can leave now. No one's gonna watch this anyway. Actually, my first video did get like a ton of views for no reason. Like, it's such a shitty video. The audio is so poorly balanced. Why did people watch that video? I don't get it. Alright, yeah, I'll throw up some Dead by Daylight gameplay. But the story is one hell of a thing. So, if you watch the second video in this series, I guess you could call it, I only intended of making season 1. Season 2 and season 3 were not meant to ever exist, because, like, I didn't really want to write 2 more seasons. Unlike the Duffer Brothers, like, people want more? Not really, but, like, sorry. Not Austin. Ronan and Red Fox thought they could, like, it'd be good to make 2 more seasons out of this, and I was like, I really don't want to write all that, but they're my friends, so I did it for them anyway. Season 3, I had a little bit of writer's block on because I just didn't care for its existence. Like, it's like the Duffer Brothers for Stranger Things. It's like they just kind of wanted to get this over with. They were kind of tired of it. I'm tired of this series. Trying to get it done has been one of the most frustrating things ever. Because every time we plan something, we can't film. And that's so annoying. But anyways, the story for this map specifically, it was meant to be like, okay, so at the end of Season 2, Henry deactivates all the animatronics. A little anticlimactic, but it's mostly whatever. It's meant to be like, oh my god, the animatronics are remembering who they are. And then Henry's like, haha, wait, what are you doing out of the cooler? And then he shuts all of them down with like a remote. And then he takes them here, which this location was hinted at in the intermission of Season 2, I believe. The interlude for this one, because Ronan really wanted an interlude for some reason. The ghost of the original 3 teenagers, which would be Ashton, Red Fox, and Ronan, they walk around the Season 1 map, which, I mean, it's meant to be more cinematic, so it's not like an actual 20-minute walk around, but, like, it's meant to be cinematic. Only takes 2 minutes, I guess. But, sadly, the original Season 1 map it's not necessarily lost, but I thought I had made a backup for it. Of its, like, if its current version, whenever you finish wrapping up Season 1's filming, I thought I had made a backup of it that was of the current version of it, where I had added a little more decorations, moved some things around, blocked off certain parts of the map to, or not blocked off, but, like, blocked off certain windows to not reveal the super flat border. And then we blew up the map because we thought it was funny. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna launch the backup. And then I launched the backup and it was a little dated. So, yeah. Not very smart on my part, I'll admit, because I'm the host of the world. I'm the one who can make backups. That's definitely my bad. But don't worry, I made a backup of the currently completed version of this map. And then Morgan's ghost, which he is no longer a part of the project, and we're currently trying to find another person. He would walk around the Faz unit from Season 2, the warehouse. And all of that is meant to be a buildup of what Henry did to all of them and to build up their anger. And then it cuts to the guard of the Season 3 map, just walking around the building, doing his patrols, and then he sees the new the animatronics that were put back in after the building got its, like, maintenance stuff, whatever. The only issue I had with the security guard is that... Did my headset turned off? Hold on. Alright, back on. Technically, I don't need a headset to film this, because I have a new mic that is completely disconnected from the headset. Sorry, back on track. I was originally going to play the guard, but then I would have to simultaneously play Henry, and that would be a little weird, because it's not like I can do a Smiling Friends thing, where, someone, like, as soon as the same voice actor of a character appears on screen, as soon as, like, 2 characters of the same voice actor appear on screen, they disintegrate. As soon as that happens... What am I saying? God, I can't word things properly. I can't do the Smiling Friends, did that guy just turn into sand thing, okay? I would have to talk to myself in different voices, and that was kind of my issue from Season 2 as well, because I also played the guard in that one, and, like, I tried doing a voice, but I just don't know. But yeah, it's at night one, as always, it's just meant to be a tour of the building. Night two, the animatronics actually activate, and night two, I feel like I played my hand when writing this a little too much, because night two immediately begins the story. The way I said that sounds bad. I'll explain. Uh, Essentially, just the animatronics activate. One of them gets close to the office door, and the guard, not paying attention, doesn't see him. Well, as he's getting close to the door, and then last second, he's like, "Oh shit!" and closes the door. He's like, "You're not meant to be active." And then he looks on the cameras, and all the animatronics are still in their place. Well, the one that was specifically at the door is still in his place. So, if he's out there and he's on the camera, then the cameras are recording. So the guard's like, ring ring, Henry. What's going on? Why is this a recording and not live feed like cameras are meant to be? And Henry gets like flustered and all that, and he says, wait, okay, shit, sorry, I read a little too far. The guard messes with the cameras and gets the live feedback, and now, you know, the animatronic is gone, and there's a little thing in the corner saying, live. The guard calls Henry, trying to understand what's going on. Repeating myself, wonderful. It's like I'm reading off a Google Doc, oh my god. He's suspicious. He's like, hey dude, why is there a new camera on the map? Because when he restored the live feed, there's a new camera on the map. Like, why is there a new camera? And also, why was it a recording? Henry gets flustered and says he planned on expanding the building and preemptively placed a camera in that spot. He completely ignores the why was it a recording aspect. That's a plot hole on my part, definitely. But the guard, it just doesn't buy it. And but he's like, okay, Henry, whatever. I'm just gonna get my job done. During that time, an animatronic has sneaked up behind the guard, probably voice crack, goddamn. Has sneaked up behind the guard, and the guard will be like, as soon as he hangs up, he's like, he's right behind me, isn't he? Turns around, gets scared, and bolts for the exit. The animatronics like cut him off sometimes, but he goes through vents, does a loop-de-loop around them, and escapes the building. For night 3, Henry calls the guard and he's like, hey dude, have you quit? Because I didn't see you leave the building last night. And the guard's like, I got an emergency call from my wife and I had to leave early because you know, emergency call. And I forgot to call you because I was panicked so much. Mind you, most of this is meant to be improv. Henry will be like, hey, are you coming back in tonight? And guard's like, yeah, I'm coming tonight. The guard gets a call from, like, I don't know, their wife or whatever, and says, like, you shouldn't go back tonight, my headset died again. Or not tied, it turned off because he hasn't heard any audio. It's like, you can't go back, and the guard's like, I have to. Henry's hiding something and I need to find out. So the guard enters the building, and I need to catch my breath. The guard goes to the to the door that was on the camera in the map, and it's that door that I showed in like the build. The build? Yeah, the build. The arcade. The arcade. It's that secret door. It's not very well hidden, but I didn't really know how to make a secret door without it being like weird looking. Like pistons would have been too Minecrafty. But and like double blocks, I just don't think would have looked very good in some sort of way. But anyways, he's like, "Oh, this door's closed. I can't get it open. There must be a secret button around here." And then he goes around the building trying to find it, while the animatronics just kind of stalk him. Then he finds the secret button in the freezer after like lock-picking the door or whatever. And he's like, "Okay, that's it." He goes back. He finds the incriminating. He finds the. He looks in all those like filing cabinets. Finds incriminating evidence of Henry. He's like, "Oh my god!" And he starts putting them in his backpack. But before he can finish, the animatronics appear behind him, and guard's like, "No, please don't kill me!" And then they kill him. Why they kill him? I don't know. I was tired of writing. I'm gonna be honest. Season 3 is not. It's not the most well written thing on Earth. Night 4 shifts to the animatronics perspectives more so. I think that's why I did Night 2, like why I played my hand so early with Night 2. It's that it shifts to the animatronics perspectives, but I definitely could have delegated some sort of thing to Night 3. I don't know. It's a tricky thing to write. A coherent story. But, Henry will try to find the guard in the building because he's like, "I didn't see you leave the building last night or clock in today." So it's like it's nighttime, and while he's searching, the animatronics will try to ambush him a couple of times, but Henry will like accidentally avoid them, so he won't even know the animatronics are trying to attack him. Henry will get to the secret room and see the guard's body. He's like, "Oh no, someone found my secret room." You know, like that Hell of a Boss thing, or not Hell of a Boss, Has Been Hotel joke, where it's like in the pilot where someone gets crushed by a boulder, and Angelus is like, "Oh no, my drugs." Yeah, basically like that. He's like, "Okay, I need to clean this up." The animatronics will overhear him say that he's gonna come back tomorrow night to take care of everything. Under all these nights, I had like little quotes that were more so referencing what games I was playing at the time sometimes. Or they weren't really references to games, but some of them were. Night 1's was freaky. You fit perfectly here. And then Night 2 was, nope, never again. Night 3 was a regular screw when the boss calls. Night 4 was, what a day. And Night 5 is a glimpse of the future and occupational hazards, which I think is a reference to like a soundtrack in Kolekta or Conscripted, something like that. Anyways, for Night 5, Henry returns with his threadbare suit. For some reason, I don't know, he had to be in his threadbare suit. Planning to stuff the guard. Oh, that's why. So you guys, whenever you read your Google Doc, like, it actually makes sense. Like, okay, so you plan to stuff the guard into the threadbare suit because it's a tried and true classic. Am I right, lads, or am I right? The animatronics make up a plan. Or here's what I put on the Google Doc. The animatronics know their plan. It's time to burn Henry's legacy. Henry will notice the animatronics sitting behind them whenever he gets to like the room, and he stops, puts down the gas canisters, and he's like, "I thought you died back in Fredbear's." It's oh yeah, Fredbear's, because Fredbear's was the rundown attachment to the new place in season 1, which is where I killed all the guys. You know, all the audiocks, and that was peak acting. Am I right, guys? I can't act when other people around me are not very good actors. Once again, I love my fellow companions, but I'm going to criticize them. Ashton very much doesn't know how to act. God bless his soul. I think I can try too hard, or if I'm not good at improv. That's what I'm not good at. I'm not good at improv. I need a script, and that's my issue in being in this series. which I like trying to do improv, but that fits more in Gmod, where we can roll with the silly shit, not like a serious Minecraft roleplay. I need to drink up the water, holy shit. I'm sorry, I'm not cutting this out. I'm not rewatching this video through, because I know I haven't said anything bad, I haven't had any piss breaks. Anyway. Yeah, Henry's all like, I thought you died back in the Fredbears, does like his aura farming turns around. There'll be some improv banter back and forth, and Henry is going to be gradually putting on the Fredbear suit. Once the fight begins, Henry will grab a fire axe, like out his backpack or from the wall, wherever, and Ashton would exit the fight to ambush Henry, and the fight would happen, and then it's like, I come behind you and I take you down. Essentially, just he jumps me, he grapples me to the ground, and thus the choices begin. These choices genuinely like confused me the way Ronan presented it to me. It hurt to try and figure out all this shit. Because it was supposed to be like a Detroit Become Human thing, where it's like everything has a subtle change to the story, or to the ending. It's like, I mean, not Detroit Become Human didn't really have subtle changes, but that was the idea behind it, whenever you look at the branching paths. Choice 1 was Ronan picks up the axe. If yes, proceed to choice 2. If no, Henry will kill Ashton first. And then it goes on to choice 1.1, which is meant to be like what happens if you choose no, which is the wrong option. Red Fox starts with the gas canister in the current room or office. If he starts pouring gas in the office, Henry will kill Red Fox last when he finishes off coating the building with Henry's room, or the arcade. If current room, Henry will target Red Fox after breaking free. Choice 1.2. Does Ashton wail on Henry? If no, Henry will break free, grab the fire axe, and kill Ashton, then everybody else. I'm sorry. If yes, then Henry will be held down until Red Fox returns, which proceed to bad ending. Because Henry will still dismantle on all the animatronics. Or, well, he doesn't start, like, the fire doesn't start until Red Fox gets back, which by the time Red Fox is back, Henry will have broken free, and before they can start the fire, Henry kills all of them or whatever. Anyways, choice 2, not 1.1. Choice 2, Red Fox starts a gas into current room or office. If current room, proceed to choice 3. If office, proceed to choice 2.2, which I highlighted in blue text, so I note the subtext. Once Henry breaks free, he will take the axe from Ronan, kill him, then Ashton, then Morgan, and then hunt down Red Fox. Choice 2.2. Ashton wails on Henry. If no, Henry breaks free and does the subtext. If office, from choice 2. If yes, Henry will not break free until Red Fox returns. He will then do the subtext, but without, the hunting down part. And then you proceed to the bad ending. Choice 3, Ashton wails on Henry. If yes, proceed to the good ending. Essentially, it's like, are you the bigger man? And don't beat the shit out of Henry, of the guy who murdered you? And it's like, well, he should. Because then he's not gonna he's being too busy, like, oh, stop hitting me, stop hitting yourself, that kind of thing. And like, if he's not wailing on him, I love British slang, then he'll just be like, alright, I'm gathering up my energy, break free, kill everyone. If yes, proceed to the good ending. The good ending. Morgan lights the building on fire, which is going to be like a montage, and then the Fnaf 3 headlamps off, good ending, but in Minecraft thing, and then that's the end of the series. Oh, thank God. If no, proceed to the bad ending, in which Henry dismantles all the animatrons, cleans up the place, and leaves alive. That's the story. The story, like I said, I didn't want to make this because I already made season 2s and I had writer's block on this one, and I was just so... I wasn't so fed up, I was just tired of the series, and then whenever we tried filming season 2, and then we just never got around to it because someone couldn't pull, one of our actors, Morgan, couldn't film, like, ever, we got tired. Or, no, I got fed up with the series and I stopped caring about it. And then, yeah, season 3 just, it has some plot holes, it's mostly whatever. Like, I have a feeling this is never going to be put, the school doc whenever we put into practice, or if it does, it's going to be with a different group of people. Because with the current group, it's like, I just don't think it's going to happen. But, anyways, I hope you guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. This is the last FNAF map for Ghost of Fazbear Entertainment. This is the last FNAF map for it. I might make more if I ever need to, but for now, like, I'm good. One thing so for the like short thing I was talking about earlier, whenever we were in like the databank room, I was going to say, like, for the credits of it, I was gonna be like, made by I'm a Joke with help from, and then everybody listed. Like, is that too mean? Because we've had problems in the past with people taking ownership of things that were not solely theirs. If you remember Cheese Quest. Which you'll only know Cheese Quest if you watch Ronin's show. Which you should subscribe to him, by the way. He's definitely a lot more passionate than me. But, we've had issues with that, and of course, I'm someone who doesn't really like to self-praise themselves too much, just because I don't like sounding egotistical. But my brain also has that conflict of, like, I should take credit. It's like, I don't like being hostile or unintentionally hostile towards people, or passive-aggressive, I guess you could say. But at the same time, I want, like, the proper amount of credit to be given to myself. And, like, I hear myself, I think that sounds really obnoxious. It's like, just say the map was made by all 4 of you. That'll be the easy part, but then my brain's like, well, that's not... They didn't really make the map. They made, like, 4 rooms of it, and you made everything else. I don't really know what to think of it, but, like... that's all. That's all. I hope I hope my ADHD wasn't too apparent. Thank you for watching this video, this 53-minute video. I hope the Dead by Daylight gameplay was engaging, as it typically is. Have a good life. Goodbye.